Hello, everyone. Welcome to Healthy Bridge Bites. This is Sabina here. When it comes to healthy food, there is always a tug of war between the kids and parents towards junk food and healthy food. To sort out this problem, Rakshita has come up with an excellent idea. She is a food entrepreneur and founder of Recipe Dabba. Her mission is to empower young kids to make their own food choices in a healthy and holistic way. Her work has been recognized in various platforms. So let's give a warm welcome to Rakshita. A very warm welcome, Rakshita, to Healthy Bridge Bites.
Thank you so much, Sabina, and I really look forward to discussions. Thank you so much for having me here.
Okay. So tell me, Rakshita, about your journey from HR to an entrepreneur.
Yeah, thanks. So this is a long story. I will try to cut it short as much as I can.
Sure,
And to start with, while I was working in HR, my journey was, my last stint with in HR was with Plug HR, and we were actually more in HR consulting, and we were working a lot with startups.
Uh-huh.
Now, while we were working with startups, somewhere that entire bug of having something of your own, right, was
Mhm.
somewhere inside me, and I really wanted to have a venture of my own.
Mhm.
So that's when I thought, okay, if it has to be something of my own, then what should it be?
Mhm.
So that's the point that I started figuring it out. And now I was also, like, I am a mother, like a 10-year
Mhm.
old boy's mother. That
Mhm.
time I think my son was around 4 or 5, and I was figuring out, like any other mother, like what he
Mhm.
should eat. And that's how in fact Recipe Dabba started as a blog. So
Okay.
eventually I would just blog my recipes, just to make sure I have them in record, so I don't forget the recipes.
Mhm.
And and then I thought, okay, maybe this could be a problem area I could start targeting.
Okay.
Nevertheless, Recipe Dabba was not just the first thing I started. Much before Recipe Dabba, I started as a business venture. There was this listing app which I and my husband prepared. It's called List Your Grocery. Now we've closed it down because it was we figured out that the kind of thoughts we had in our mind, we were not able to probably put it. But yeah, I started with List Your Grocery, and then
Mhm.
eventually I came to Recipe Dabba.
Okay.
Now at Recipe Dabba, again, I was looking for a problem statement, or looking for something which around which I can actually work around. So
Mhm.
kids not eating healthy food, picky eaters, fussy eaters, as a mother, you would know, right? Those are the terms which we all come across. So I thought, okay, why not work onto this area? And that's how I think the whole concept from then, which is 2017 till now, has evolved. So I started with cooking workshops, which is
Mhm.
around essentially no fire cooking workshops. And there is a trademark program which I call it Cook with RD.
Mhm.
Apart from that, then eventually we also developed certain online programs like 21 days no junk food challenge, kitchen challenge. There's a food club which is we are working on currently. Then we also started doing baking workshops. We also do fire cooking workshops, but everything essentially is around kids, and that too between 5 to 12 years.
Okay.
Sometimes we do, when we're doing fire workshops, we do go beyond 12, but mostly that's the area, because that age group is
Mhm.
something where kids are open to changes.
Okay.
Once you're a teenager, it's very difficult to change the habits, right? So
Mhm.
because you've already made up your mind, and there's so many hormonal changes, etc., which is going, that if you start getting too much into food, then it becomes a little difficult with them. So I
Mhm.
think 5 to 12 is a sweet spot, which we felt, if it work on it. So yeah, it's been coming good. So we completed more than 4 years, and
Okay.
a lot of things. So every year there's a new program which I work
Mhm.
around. We try to launch it, and
Okay.
yeah, till now it's going good.
Okay. So how are the
Yeah.
kids enjoying? What response they have, and how the parents are reacting, and especially like when you're targeting kids, how they are responding. It's very tricky and very cunning way, right? Not like to target them directly, not to target the parents. And
Correct,
as I said
correct,
in the intro, you have come up with an innovative idea to make the kids responsible for their eating.
correct, correct. So yeah, so thank you for asking that question, Sabina, because why I actually target with kids is because I think um I feel they are that they hold that pivotal position in the family, right? Whatever kids probably do will eventually the family will follow. It's not the other way around. At
Hmm.
least this is the generation which we are
Yeah,
into now with the kids, right? So so if I go to the parents and tell them eat healthy, there are so many other people anyways telling parents to eat healthy.
yeah,
So
that's what.
there's
Like there
nothing,
are like so
nothing.
many programs.
Yeah,
As I told you
yeah,
when I wanted to ask you this, when I approached you, this is what that caught my mind. When it's
yeah.
like about healthy food or like healthy eating, it's like mostly there are programs for the adults, not for kids,
Correct,
as far as I have come across. Not
correct.
only dedicated to the kids. Maybe they are part of it, but it's not only dedicated to the kids. This was
Correct.
something interesting which caught my eye. So
Yeah.
how excited they are when I think they are feeling more responsible, and it's like it's bullseye, right? It's not hitting around the bush, going through parents and all those things. It's like directly you're hitting the target audience. So how they are feeling? Are
Yeah,
they really
yeah.
knowing what you're doing to them, or like?
Yeah, so I'll tell you what, like I'll answer the question the other way around, right? We current like last weekend we were doing a cookies workshop. Okay, so we did a
Mhm.
healthy cookie baking
Mhm.
session, and eventually when it is a baking session, now what happens in an offline workshop is very different than what happens in an online workshop. In an
Mhm.
offline workshop, the child comes to me and they're totally into a silo, right? The parent is not
Mhm.
involved at all because neither do they supply ingredients. They just come in and they do things and they will maximum carry back the samplers.
Mhm.
While in an online workshop, there's a lot of involvement of the parent because ultimately you're using a parent's kitchen. So
Yeah.
eventually the parent also gets, they also get involved. So
Mhm.
by far, anytime we do any kind of recipes in an online workshop, we would see either the father or the mother, along with the child.
Yeah.
Sometimes we feel that we should just call them like, get your parents along because we know the parents are going to be there. So, the
Anyways,
last.
it's a safety reason also, right? They might be
Yes,
using
yes,
the
yes.
stove or the oven.
Correct, correct,
For
correct,
safety
correct.
reason, it's better to have the parents as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And even if the children are sometimes, let's say they're 12 years, they even know things, but parents are curious to learn the recipes, right? So what
Mhm.
happens? Eventually, the parents also create those recipes. Now,
Mhm.
this was a feedback which we got, and it was like very interesting that the parents said, uh, we're actually paying, we're paying for one, but couple of people are learning together. I said, yeah, that's the fun part, right? If we
Mhm.
have the family learning it, then eventually the acceptance will be higher than just
Mhm.
the child learning it. So it's good that we have parents along with the child because then everybody learns and the acceptance is high, and they can also fine tune the recipe sometimes depending. For example, they feel okay, we can reduce the sugar, we can increase the sugar, whatever
Mhm.
jaggery etc which you're
So it's like
using.
the kids are dragging the parents into something. It's not the other way around, which
Yeah,
usually
no,
happens
not the other way around. Yes,
where
yes,
parents drag in the kids. This is the other way
correct,
around. So I think the kids are feeling more
correct,
responsible. They are feeling in charge, and that is why they are enjoying it a lot.
correct. Yeah, and what we also do is like somehow the kind of connect, that's what probably I feel is which I personally have with the kids, is that I don't go as a trainer to them, right? I always put across as a friend to them. So
Mhm.
once you're a friend to them, they look forward. So I generally have the kids who come up for multiple sessions. So they would not just sign up for one session and then not come back. So kids will keep coming back for, so, we've had kids who've attended 12 sessions in a go, right? So they would come back for every menu till such time. So yeah, so a lot of my kids, they would have started vlogging and YouTube channels and, working on recipes, different recipes. And so that's the fun part. I think what probably Cook with RD would have done to them is like, they already loved cooking, and somewhere we kind of, gave them platform to, work on innovative recipes and start working on it independently.
So is
Love.
there any memories or incident where they have given you suggestions? Can you do like this? I tried this way, it came up better, or like you
yes.
could do this kind of thing, or like the most memorable compliment you got from a kid?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think this has happened more in the offline sessions because we would spend around 3.5 hours together, right? So I always tried that for me, when we were working on recipes together, it was only giving them some ideas to work things together. It was eventually they have to present the recipe to us. So the kind of innovations they came across, right? Sometimes I would not even think that okay, probably a potato chaat can be done like this, or maybe sandwich can be put it across like this. So I think kids are super creative these days. And I have personally learned a lot of things, like some of the kids, they actually went ahead. Like there's one student of mine, Pauline, and she is actually a YouTuber also. She kind of did this recipe which was with oats sauce. She made a sauce with oats, and that she used in mushroom. Yeah, and I really like that one because I said, okay, this is something which I have also not tried. So I went ahead and tried. It came out very well. So these are the kids who come up and they suggest, okay, Adi, they called me Adi. So Adi, why don't you do like this? And yeah, I mean, online sessions honestly have little restrictions because you have a lot of discussions back and forth can't be done. However, offline discussions, they're free, right? So there are more discussions going on. So I think both the kind of workshops and formats have their different ways of handling kids. But yeah, these are amazing set of kids we've had, and they've always inspired me to do more. I mean, I can't create an easy recipe because I know they would not simply join up. They want something innovative every time.
They keep pushing you, and you have to be like innovative and creative, and you have tough competition there, I guess.
Oh yes, a lot, definitely.
So tell us about your 21-day no junk food challenge. How did you get this idea, and what all you do in this challenge?
Sure. So I think I remember, I had this workshop, and this friend of mine, her name is Soril Jalani, and we were just generally talking and chatting. And I used to conduct my cooking workshops at a center, and she just said that these days these challenges are in trend, right? 15-day challenge and this day challenge. So I said, yeah, how about if we tell kids not to eat junk food for some days, right? And she's like, why will kids stop eating junk food? So I said, okay, let's just why not try it? So she said, you know what, this is not going to happen, right? You can't ask kids not to eat junk food. As long as you're doing cooking workshop, it's okay, but I don't think so this can happen. I said, okay, let's try it out. And then that's when I think I worked. And in fact, her daughter also signed up for the challenge.
Okay.
So the whole idea, Sabina, of 21 days junk food challenge, now we are running, currently we're running the 7th season. We do it once in a quarter. So, and we have, kids who sign up, like they've signed up multiple times. There were some kids who will just sign up once or twice like that. So we've got a different kind of kids. And this is purely online. So you don't have to be physically present to, this was always an online session, program. In this, we give them nudges, and we, of course, they don't have to eat junk food. There's a score, so they will have a diary which we help them maintain. Basis what they're eating, we give them scores. There are a lot of games which are inside that. So we focus on physical activities. We focus on eating pattern, which is nutrition. Also on mental wellness. A lot of tiny bit of things. We also in that 21 in those 21 days, we also educate them about healthy habits, right? Reading nutrition labels, understanding what is a balanced diet, how do you actually place your thali,
Okay.
doing home chores. So a
Hmm.
lot of things which eventually impact your eating pattern.
Hmm.
Drinking water, how do you drink water, how much should you be drinking, how do you manage that, water. So
Hmm. Hmm.
little things here and there. So every challenge, we bring in new things, right?
Okay.
Not all the challenges will have same, I mean, of course on the top level the format is same, but
Yeah.
we give them tasks which keep differing depending how the situation is.
And
Like
that's what
when
it encourages, right? To again, the same kids can come up and they want to
correct,
challenge
correct,
themselves or like to
correct,
improve
correct.
them or compete
Yes,
them. So
yes,
there is,
yes.
I think this is completely a healthy competition.
Yeah, yeah. In true sense.
Hmm, 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 hmm.
Yeah, so that's what it is. Yeah.
Okay, not only technical, the healthy competition, what we usually talk in sportsmanship. I think this is like the truly, you have taken the essence. I think literally you have taken it as a healthy competition.
Yeah, I think I really like that tagline, Sabina. I'm gonna take that for the eighth season. Is it truly a
Okay,
healthy challenge?
okay.
Healthy competition.
Yeah, literal healthy competition.
Correct, correct, correct.
Okay, okay, okay. So at the end, whoever the winner is, they have some takeaways or like how it is.
Yeah, so sometimes, so that's also a surprise. Sometimes, we give them medals. Like this time, we have gold medals for them. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
we will have top two scorers. And now it's not only about their scoring by marks. There's a lot of ways, like the kind of commitment they've showed. Right? Sometimes kids also are like, they're not well, but they're still trying to make sure they're eating salad, they're drinking enough water, and then they
Okay.
will write to me, you know what, I had a chocolate, so please, today, like one of the children, one of the child, he or she went to the dentist, and then the dentist asked the kid to eat ice cream.
Okay.
Now the child was not ready to eat an ice cream in spite of the problem, because they thought that marks are going to be deducted. So
Okay.
I had to explain that it's okay, we will not deduct marks, so go
Okay.
ahead and eat an ice cream. So I think children are, they have a lot of conviction and dedication to whatever they do if they put in their heart and soul.
Yeah, I think when they are given the responsible, they are made like the
Yeah,
leader or like it's
correct.
completely their thing. No one is
Yeah,
going to involve or anything. It's like they
correct.
take it very seriously, especially
Very
when
seriously.
the parents say they don't take that much seriously. The same thing is said by a teacher or someone else. They take it like
Yeah,
so seriously and so literally. That is like really
correct.
awesome. Like putting them
Yeah,
on
yeah,
track is like really awesome.
yeah.
In this journey, do the parents also take the 21-day challenge?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I mean, in fact, sometimes I know even some of the grandparents have to go through it, because, in fact, this time what we did, that we said, okay, everybody will sign up, that, they are, even the fathers, the mothers,
Mhm.
because you would see that generally the mothers are the ones who are signing up the children. So we
Mhm.
always found that, there's a black hole when the father comes in the picture, because they are not connected with me. So this time we said, okay, I want whole family to commit that, okay, they will at least support the child, because what happens if if father gets chocolates or chips or wafers, then the children can't control, right?
Yeah.
It's very difficult for a young child like 5-year-old to control when you have wafers. So I mean, you can't do it in silo. So yeah, and I think there are a lot of parents who are ready to support their children, and because they themselves feel so motivated when they see the children doing it. So they feel,
Mhm.
even adults we can do. So yeah, I think everybody in the family goes through that. So that's the flip side. In fact, that's also a reason, Sabina. A lot
Mhm.
of people are scared to sign up, because they also know that they'll have to go through it.
Like ask them to subscribe Healthy Bridge Bites without any guilt. They can enjoy all sort of junk which is made like
Definitely.
completely with whole wheat flour or like millet flour. So it's been like my kids have
Yes, yes,
not heard the
definitely.
word maida in I think so many years. So it's like
No, I'm sure. I think next time that's what I'm going to do. Maybe I can ask them to subscribe to you so that they don't have to.
No, they have different ways. Like
That
suddenly when
little
you say
problem
no
again.
junk, they are like, okay, what should I eat now? Because we are
What
so
should I
much
eat?
used to it and it's like so easily available.
Correct.
Say so they don't have
Yeah.
much options. So ask them to come to my channel and visit to see
Yeah.
various options.
Definitely. Definitely.
So before winding up, so I just wanted to know what is the one food which kids are or like parents are giving without knowing, which they think it's healthy, but actually it's not. There are like some hidden things to it.
Yeah, I think.
One of the
Yeah, though there are multiple, but I would say like Horlicks, Bonvita, ketchup. These are, these are something which every child, every family would have it, and they just use it generously. Paratha with paratha, they'll give you ketchup. Milk, they don't drink milk, so they will add Horlicks, Bonvita. I mean, there's no particular brand I would name, but all I tell people to just read what is there because there's so many chemicals which you don't even understand. Rather than that, you can just probably give a dry fruit powder which you can make it at home. Add just some something and you can give it. Like, so yeah, I think essentially this is uh, ketchup has been a major problem for kids letting go, and of course these chocolate powders, etc., which I feel has been, apart from that, of course, mayonnaise and Nutellas are always there. But yeah, so I would,
yeah, we have
maximum point if I have to give, I will give it to ketchup because it is there in everyday food with
okay.
whatever they eat.
Okay. I think Nutella, we have a healthy recipe which is made with cashew nuts and jaggery in our channel, and very soon
Sure.
beetroot malt is going to come up on our channel.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
I have stopped giving, as you said, the Horlicks or Bonvita. It's been long. So there is a ragi malt, instant ragi health drink mix is available. So that is what I have been giving to
Great.
my children since a very long time. Those recipes are
Great.
there. So again, when you said like ketchup, okay, that was the difficult thing you think kids have to
Yeah, I mean, because you
during
have to
21-day challenge, that was the most
yes.
difficult?
Yeah, it was so see, when you say, the question which you asked me was that parents give it unknowingly without knowing that it's junk, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Parents give a lot of chips also. They give Maaza, Fruity also. They know it is junk. They give you, right? But this, the kind of ketchup, etc. People they're like, okay, the child is eating paratha. Let them give it. They're eating sandwich. Let's just have it. Now they don't have a substitute for a tomato ketchup. I mean, because you will have to make a sauce. Another thing is that, if what I generally tell my parents and the students and the kids that, you fresh chutney, because that's going to increase your immunity. You're using greens, you're eating in raw form. So rather than having something which is so high in preservative, sugar, and hardly anything into that, you would not even have a real tomato in that probably. So why, waste your money and your health into something like that? So we see that, a lot of kids find it difficult. Otherwise, yeah, of course, when you tell them, so what I start with is, we give them around some set of recipes. Okay, because I'm saying no to this, I want you to probably try it.
Yeah, yeah. Always there should be an alternate, right? Instead of just telling no, 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 no. For
Correct,
this, they
correct.
are like
Yeah,
their
correct,
brain
correct.
gets freeze with seeing so many
Yes,
no's. Like, okay,
yes,
all these things,
yeah.
then what should I eat?
Correct, correct. So that's what happens. Like, okay, if I'm not eating this, then what do I do? It's like, they are a substitute. So we tell them, okay, if not mayonnaise, then this is how you can make a healthy mayonnaise. So like you said, chocolate spread. So this is how you can make your chocolate spread. This is when you're craving for a chocolate, like chocolate craving is a huge thing. I mean, I think most of the kids, they that's one thing which they're not able to control. And eventually parents would have a chocolate at their home, right? So they would get it, right? So how do you handle those kind of cravings, right? What food can you eat that you don't have those cravings, and the timing of the craving, how do you manage that, right? So we also give them cheat meals in between, Sabina. We say, okay, you are allowed to take one cheat meal, not a day, a meal in a whole week. So for example, you've been like, okay, you're a child, you can take a cheat meal. So they know they will store, if there's a birthday party coming, so they will, just save that cheat meal, have it at a friend's place, and then come back, right? So I
Mhm.
think the whole idea is for them to understand the balance, right? How much they should eat healthy,
Okay.
how much junk they can have. And what we've also realized are, that over the time, when they keep coming for the challenge again and
Mhm,
again,
mhm,
they understand, okay, this is not good for me. So rather than their parent going back and telling them, ye mat khao, don't eat that, this is not
mhm,
good, they eventually understand that, okay, we know that this is not good, and we will not do it. so
mhm.
so okay, we will, or maybe we will control it. So
Okay.
yeah, that's how maybe somewhere in their mind that thing
Yeah, it's
starts
basically educating the kids in a fun way, and the main
yeah,
thing is to giving them knowledge to read the ingredients list. That is the
correct,
main thing. I think all the
correct,
schools should incorporate this, and they should
yeah,
know the names, okay, what the chemical names, or like what are the numbers are, like they
yeah,
should know what is that, instead of just telling like the healthy food, or teaching the food pyramid. I
yeah,
think the syllabus should have what are the ingredients which are going, or like they
correct,
should be able to read the labels. So
correct,
if
correct,
kids are taught that way, it will be like very easy for the parents as well, and it will be very easy for the kids as well to make their
correct, correct,
own choices. When they go into
yeah,
a supermarket, they can go and see for themselves what is
correct,
there and all those things. I think it's one way good. You have taken the initiative of teaching them about labels and all those things. It would be
yeah,
really great if it's like incorporated in the schools itself, like
yeah, that's true,
along
that's
with
true,
the food pyramid. Okay, this also should be,
yeah,
okay, this should be eaten, this is good for health, okay, fine. Then okay, these
correct,
things should not be eaten, and this comes in a hidden way. That is the main tricky part of the market, right?
correct,
It's not very
correct,
direct.
correct.
It comes like so much sugar coated and all those
Oh
things.
yeah,
It's fall
oh
for
yeah.
it.
Yeah, and we can't even blame kids, because I have even parents who reach out to me asking, okay, is this allowed? Is this healthy? I will tell you, last challenge, there was this parent who said, okay, I think I gave atta Maggie and that should be okay, right? Atta Maggie is healthy. It's made out of atta. So, I had to just, so there are things like that, parents themselves, and, these are like well aware, well read parents who themselves, and
Mm-hmm.
it's also about how much attention are you really paying into, when you're picking up the food. Like you said, when we go to supermarkets, we see people blindly just picking up, nobody sometimes even reading the best before, forget
Mm-hmm.
about the ingredients. So
Mm-hmm.
they have so much to buy, and I think that's where the kids can help in, because that's what you tell them. Okay, if your parents are too busy in a lot of things because they have to
Mm-hmm.
complete the groceries, so
Yeah,
why
yeah.
don't you pitch in and pick up the things and help them read and help them understand? And then
Mm-hmm.
you also become more participative and, buying all the things, and, there. So I think that's how probably we will be able to raise kids who are well aware, who know things. Of course, that comes with a lot of questions also to answer.
Okay.
That's a flip side of having such kind of activities with the kids. But yeah,
Okay, okay.
so
So coming to that, what is like the some interesting question you had, and like okay, and you had to go and find it out, or like you were all stuck. Okay, this never crossed my mind. What was any question like that?
oh yeah, generally, we do get a lot of curious kids, okay, right? So
Mm-hmm.
now, sometimes they would come up to me that, for example, we were doing this whole thing about balanced diet, and having different kind of uh, carbohydrates and proteins, right? So now they're like, okay, once you're telling us to have carbohydrates, protein, so now even this has carbohydrates, so how do we judge that this much carbohydrate and this much protein? They're like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
let me help you out. So they ask such complex questions that you yourself have to be more prepared. I think, with time, they have only improved me, because the kind of things they would eventually ask me, I will sometimes, of course, most of the times I'm able to answer, but then many a times I'm not able to answer, especially when they dig in deep. And like you said, schools would probably teach you that, this is a carbohydrate, this is a protein, this is fat, you will need
Mm-hmm.
it, right? Now they come up and say, if fat is good, then why is fat bad? So how do I know fat is good, fat is not bad? So which
Mm-hmm.
fat is good? right? So is fat, a fat person is fat, right? So they come up with such interesting things that, you know, you also, and you can't just plainly go and explain them, okay, ye trans fat hai ye, because they will get bored. So I think you have to find ways to
Yeah, yeah.
explain them that concept in a way that they, you know, it
They'll
just registers
enjoy
in their
and
mind.
they'll remember, but you can't
Remember.
go too technical also, and you can't
Yes,
avoid their questions also. Then they'll be
correct.
like, okay, Ari doesn't know anything.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, she's just saying like this. No, no, this doesn't happen. My teacher said like that, and this happened. So I think most of the times, you know, in fact, nutrition, Sabina, itself is a subject which should be taught in school. I mean, when I say nutrition, it should not be one chapter about what you eat, right, or food we eat. Eventually we go into so much of science, right? We will go in biology, we'll go into physics, chemistry, but I think they should also, now it's a need, at least we never had,
Yeah,
but I think
like
nutrition
it's
is
a
a
day-to-day
must.
thing. It's a day-to-day
Yeah,
thing, right? What you eat and
correct.
how you eat and what not
Yeah,
to eat. And I think these things should be included in the part of a syllabus.
correct. I mean, food science is so amazing, right? Even the bread
Hmm.
baking is so amazing, right? How does it really work? And if you
Hmm.
actually, I mean, you know, sometimes you do those food experiments also with the kids. So, I mean, you know, they're so curious to know about it. And I think,
Hmm.
I mean, science is, of course, is always very amazing, right? But when you
Hmm.
look into the food science part, I don't see schools specifically talking about that. And especially I think, maybe, you know, as the awareness increases, such kind of things will be added in the curriculum. I see schools adding cooking as, you know, hobby clubs and those kind of
Yeah,
things.
no fire cooking is
No
there.
fire
Hobby classes
cooking.
are there.
Yeah, correct. But I'm still not sure how much, when you say cooking, how much are they really emphasizing on healthy cooking? Because no fire can easily go unhealthy, right? Because if you
Hmm.
start using a lot of spreads and other things which are easily
Hmm.
available,
Hmm.
so there's a large amount of, the possibility that you actually end up into healthy
Hmm.
cooking. So yeah, I think somewhere they'll have to probably pitch in that part. So that's what
Yeah,
I think both
hopefully.
of us agree on there.
Yeah, hopefully the schools somewhere hear this and they come up with the syllabus. On that note, thank you so much, Rakshita. And I'll be leaving all the links below on the description box. Whoever wants to join this 21-day challenge and other programs can contact Rakshita. Hers is Recipe Dabba. So I'll leave all the links down below. And thank you again for this wonderful session. It was lovely talking to you and so much information. I think this program should be seen by all kids. I think who are the parents are watching, please show to your kids. So it's really amazing how the kids are taking the charge and how they are becoming responsibility. Thank you so much, Rakshita.
Thank you so much, Sabina. It was lovely chatting with you, and thank you for having me here, and giving me this opportunity to share, what I do.
Okay, thank you, thank you. And all the best for your coming up ventures and coming up challenges.
Likewise, all the best to you, and may you get lots and lots of subscribers, and may you keep doing and keep making, people around you more aware about healthy food.
Yeah, thank you so much.